Be sure to have the following tools with you when setting up the machine: a screwdriver or drill with a number 2 Phillips head, a bubble level for leveling the machine, a Vennet wrench leveling tool, a pry bar, a crowbar or large screwdriver and hammer to split and remove the shipping skids, a box cutter or blade to cut open the packaging, and a receptacle tester.
Your machine was thoroughly inspected before leaving the factory, and the delivery carrier has accepted responsibility for this machine. It is very important that you inspect the exterior of all cartons for damage upon receipt from the freight line. Damage in transit, although infrequent, does happen. Nearly all damage in transit can be determined from a visual inspection of cartons. Look for any damage to the cardboard corners. The machines are shipped in clear plastic. Look for tears in the plastic and inspect them closely. Take photos of any external damage to packaging before removing it. If this visual inspection reveals nothing, then the machine has probably been received in good condition. If any carton is received in a damaged condition, it is very important that you follow these steps. First, note any damage on the freight line's delivery receipt. Specify where the damage is located. Take photos of the damage. Second, contact the factory at 800-247-1787 for additional instructions. Send photos of the damage to damage@wichern.com. Include serial number and tracking number of shipment. Again, please inspect all equipment thoroughly before signing for it and before the driver leaves. Any questions pertaining to damaged equipment should be referred to the factory.
Your machine is shipped on wood skids that need to be removed. Because of the weight of the machine, it may be helpful to slightly raise the machine or for someone to push on the side of the machine, as this will help take the pressure off as you separate the wood from the legs. Using a hammer and a large screwdriver or pry bar, split the skids by inserting the wedge into the provided separation slot and applying pressure to front or back. Then use the hammer to knock the wood away from the legs. You can then dispose of the wood boards and metal washers. Also, before plugging the power cord to the wall socket, the integrity of the main electrical supply must be checked for correct polarity, presence of a good ground, and the correct voltage. These checks should be repeated at 6-month intervals with routine safety electrical testing of the vendor itself. If the receptacle is not properly grounded or polarized, contact a licensed electrician to correctly polarize and/or ground the receptacle to ensure safe operation. For proper operation of any equipment utilizing electronically controlled components, the equipment should be placed on an isolated or dedicated noise-free circuit, properly polarized and grounded. Refer to the electrical specifications in your service manual to determine circuit amperage and protection.
Now plug in your machine. This red light shows that your machine is receiving power.
To help ensure proper operation of your machine, it is critical the machine is level.
Make sure the level is on the cabinet and not the door. Make sure the machine is level side to side and front to back.
Place the level on the top of the cabinet. Raise the level until the bubble is in the middle so you know what side to raise or lower. Adjust the machine using an adjustable wrench or this leveling tool. Lower the machine by turning the leg clockwise and raise the machine by turning the leg counterclockwise. We recommend adjusting the machine in small increments and then checking the bubble level. Before connecting the water line, install the coffee water filter. You'll need to remove the red plastic cover and ensure the O-rings are still in place. Then insert the coffee water filter into the filter head here. Turn the lever horizontal to lock the filter in place. To begin installing the water line, remove this plug from the back of the machine. Take this part from the service manual bag and wrap it with thread seal tape. Then screw it securely here to the back of the machine. Use a wrench to tighten. Have a plumber come to install the water line in this location. To set the price for a single cup on your Model 3205 coffee vending machine, begin by pressing the Program button on the inside of your machine. Press 3 4 times to access service mode. On the keypad here, use 2 to scroll up and 8 to scroll down. 4 will move the cursor to the left. 6 will move the cursor to the right. 0 is enter, and pound is escape or back up. Press 8 3 times to scroll to change prices. Press 0. On this menu, you can scroll between individual large prices, individual regular prices, set all prices, and cup discount. You can change the price for a specific drink by selecting large prices or regular prices. You can also set a price for all types of drinks for both large and regular by selecting Set All Prices. You can also program the discount for customers providing their own cup under Cup Discount. Press 0 at large prices to price each individual large drink. Then press 2 to scroll to the drink you wish to change. Then press 0 to enter the new price. Press 4 or 6 to move the cursor over to the value you wish to change. Press 2 to increase the number value by 1. Press 0 to save the price. To program the discount for customers that provide their own cup, scroll to Cup Discount. Press Enter twice and then choose the discount amount you want. Then press 0 to save. To set the timed activities for your coffee machine, begin by pressing the Program button on the inside of your machine. Press 4 4 times to access the necessary service mode. Now in service mode, 2 will scroll up, 8 will scroll down, 4 will move the cursor to the left, 6 will move the cursor to the right, 0 is enter, and pound is escape or back up. Use 8 to scroll down to timed activities. Press 0. Here you can scroll between setting a block of time for flush brew or day settings for flush brew. By default, the machine is set to flush the coffee brewer twice a day, at 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. This setting must not be disturbed. You can scroll between 9 other options in timed activities. Reduced, which uses the regular price instead of the large. Inhibit Vend prohibits buying from the machine. In this instance, the machine will show customers when it will reopen for business. Flush Brewer does exactly that. Flush the brewer water. Economy lowers the temperature of the heater by around 40 degrees Fahrenheit, saving energy. In Free Vend, drink prices revert to free at designated times or days. Flush mode flushes the whippers and the soluble stations are flushed and rinsed with hot water. In shutdown, the machine will become inactive at the designated times and days. Unused means the timed activity slot is not in use. Press 0 to save. To set the date and time on your Model 3205 coffee machine, begin by pressing the Program button on the inside of your machine. Press 3 4 times to access service mode. Now in service mode, 2 will scroll up, 8 will scroll down, 4 will move the cursor to the left, 6 will move the cursor to the right, 0 is enter, and pound is escape or back up. Use 8 to scroll down to set date time. Press 0. Press 0 to set the time. Use 2 to increase the digit value, 8 to decrease, 4 to move to the right, and 6 to move to the left. Set the correct time here. When complete, press 0 to save. Be sure to use 24-hour military time. You can now press 8 to scroll between setting date and time. Then press 0 to set the date. Press 0 to save the date. Press pound to go back to Service Main Menu. Every week, be sure to flush the canisters and brewer, wipe down the cup area, clean the drip tray, dump out the water, and replace the trash bag. Every month, clean the canister parts. It will be helpful to have a tub on hand to place the parts in when washing. We recommend leaving your machine on so the water doesn't cool off. Begin by opening the door to access the inside of the machine. Mark each tube with the letter where they belong. Then pull out the tubes, except for D. D stays. Next, remove the spouts here. Then remove these 5 funnels by pulling out. Now move over to the brewer assembly. Twist the water hose connection to the left and pull out. Lift up and pull off this front metal cover. Pop off the sealing rod from the lift arm at the top of the brewer. Put your finger below the spherical connection and push it toward you. Slide up these 2 levers on the right of the brewer so you can remove it. Disassemble the brewer so you can wash it in the sink. To access the drip tray grill, unhook the tube and unlatch the cover here to remove the drip tray grill. This part will need to be washed with hot water and dish soap. Use hot water and dishwashing soap to clean these coffee machine parts. When rinsing the brewer, make sure water can flow out of this hole. Use alcohol to clean off the inside of the machine here and over here in the cup dispense area. Reassemble these pieces together that catch any extra liquid from the dispenser. Put the drip tray grill back in place here. Put the drain tube back in here and secure the latch. Finish wiping down the cup chute area. Put the brewer assembly together and place it back onto the machine. Make sure it is placed on the 2 pins sticking out here and into the hole at the top. Snap the sealing rod back in place by pushing it toward the machine and onto the lift arm. Place the bottom filter onto the pins here. Once the brewer assembly is back in place, push these tabs down. Next, place the brewer assembly cover back on. Reattach the water hose. Twist it to the right to secure. Give a tug to make sure it is correctly in place. Reassemble the funnels and place them in the correct slots. Snap into place. The top fits into the slots on the side. Make sure the tubes are placed on the side of the funnel that is open and not the side that is closed. Make sure the tubes are completely attached so there is no leaking. When reattaching the spouts, make sure they are pointing in the correct direction. These pieces go with the brewer. The part of the spout with the slot openings goes into the canister. The straight spout goes into A. Canister B and C need spouts that go diagonally into the funnel. Canister E needs a straight spout. This example is wrong because the mix will go outside the funnel. Next, perform a water flush on the machine's canisters and brewer. This should be done weekly. Press here to flush the canisters. If there's leaking, turning the machine's power off will stop the water. Once the canister flush is complete, then flush the brewer. Be sure to dump out your water bucket and replace the trash bag. Clean the inside of the machine cabinet with alcohol and a rag. For more assistance, visit vennetusa.com. Before connecting the water line, install the coffee water filter. You'll need to remove the red plastic cover and ensure the O-rings are still in place. Then insert the coffee water filter into the filter head here. Turn the lever horizontal to lock the filter in place. To begin installing the water line, remove this plug from the back of the machine. Take this part from the service manual bag and wrap it with thread seal tape. Then screw it securely here to the back of the machine. Use a wrench to tighten. Have a plumber come to install the water line in this location.